Right, so that's actually quite a funny story. I was a late starter with soccer. I picked up the soccer ball when I was around 13, 14 years of age, so I was a late starter. I was, back in the day, I wouldn't consider that it was my first sport. But when it started, when I was at school, I usually got stuck in goal because I was like, really not interested in it. But then I did start playing in goal. They stuck me in goal, and ever since then, it went from there. And I tried to progress as much as I could in my career as soccer. I then went on to play to the best of my ability that I could. I wish, so going into coaching, what really sparked it was giving back to the younger generation. Giving back, and what I mean by that is everything that I learned and I was taught by my peers and my coaches, it was something, it naturally felt like I wanted to give back. And whatever I had learned, I wanted to bring up the next generation and be like, whatever I've learned, I want to give back. And I want them to try and let them use my expertise of coaching. How did I get into coaching? The dream started back in 2010 when I embarked on the journey to come to the United States. Came out on a soccer scholarship up in New York for NJCAA, played my 2 years at JUCO. I was there finishing off my associate's degree. That's when I got the opportunity to coach, my first coaching gig in New York, Monroe Community College. I was the assistant coach and the goalkeeper coach there. It was a year that was a great experience for me, and that's where it picked up, where I wanted to try and develop and see what I could and how I could progress. From then on, I then did my 2 years of my bachelor's degree I got a soccer scholarship in Florida. I was down here. And then when I was finishing off my degree again, I then picked up another year at playing at NIAA. Ever since those 2 years, the last 2 years I was at Lynn University, coaching both women's and men's soccer at Division II standard. And then throughout the years of just coaching, how did it come naturally? I never once thought about that. It just, it was just like, it just came naturally, and it's hard to put that in words. I enjoyed giving back of what I was taught. So for 2010s, I mean, at times, yeah, we're all coaches, but we forget about their age. They're 8 years of age. So an hour and 15 minutes of just straight technical, it's going to be boring. And yeah, they are going to lose focus. The trick with that is, like you said, as you mentioned, how to keep it fun, how to get them involved. Sometimes I would join in with them to give them a little bit of spark, and that will add a little bit more competitiveness. And so it's with 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds that I'm dealing with right now, you have to make it enjoyable, especially at this age. They're able to make mistakes. The game itself is cruel. Soccer's cruel. 1 minute you could be 1-0 up, the next minute you could be 2-1 down. It's the way it is. So at this age, the tips that I'll give the kids and other coaches as well is just relax. They're not professional athletes, so giving them the opportunity to develop by making their own mistakes is crucial. I'm a strong believer of that. If we have a winning team, they're not going to learn how to bounce back from a defeat. So it's important that in training that they go through the ups, they go through the downs, and that's all a part of their development as a child growing up to being an adult. So. Just trying to make it fun for them as much as we can. Just having a bit of banter with the kids. First things first, we have a great DOC that looks after us, Adam G. He's all about our development as coaches. If we don't have the required badges to be all at the same level, he's on our case. We have to get the badges, we have to learn. We have to develop as coaches. We never stop learning as coaches. One thing that separates us from other clubs, especially in our area, is the amount of experience us coaches have. Numerous amounts of coaches on our at our club have university experience, coaching university. We have a DA program, an amazing DA program with loads of experience coming from MLS clubs. So I feel as if the experience from the coaches giving back to the younger generation at this club it's huge, and that's one thing that sets us apart from I believe other clubs.